Hello, hello, my friends. How are you? Happy Monday. Hope you're having a great time this week and have a lot of fun things planned. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to come on in. It's 1 minute before 7. I hope that you find us okay. Remember, this will be on the, it will. It'll be on my blog, and it will also be in that free class. So I'll show you the link, but if you just go to karamiller.com and click on Classroom, you'll see Facebook Live replays. And you want to enroll in that class. It's free. I promise you don't get bombarded with spam and nonsense. Hey, Susan. But in there, any SVG that I share in the Facebook Live, it's in there to download. So you can go back a couple of weeks, months, whatever, and find older ones too. So you definitely want to be enrolled. Hey, Marianne. Welcome, ladies. So tonight, hi, Ann. Tonight we're talking about backgrounds for simples. So I realize that many of you are not only just simple followers and likers, but you are diehard simple users, and I appreciate all of you and love that you love them as much as I do. But in case, on the odd shot that there's somebody watching this that doesn't know what we're talking about, I am going to start at the beginning. And a simple is a combination of a scrapbook layout sketch and photo mats. And they're put together so that you don't have to worry about where you're going to lay things out on your page. Hey, Jean, a lot of times when you look at a sketch, it'll have like, 3/4 of an inch from this side and 2 inches down from the top. And that part makes my head hurt. I don't like measuring things. I don't like worrying about it. So probably, I think we decided it's around 6 years ago now. Shannon just collects them. We all do that. We all collect a lot. But about 6 years ago, I came up with this idea, it might even be longer now, of how to make this simpler. And those of you that were here at the beginning will remember that I thought at the time it would be fun if I actually cut them out and mailed them to you. What a silly idea. That lasted for about 2 weeks. And then I said, oh, that's not fun. And all I'm doing is running 3 Cricuts 24/7. So that was a bad idea. So they became SVGs. And now they are, you can use them again and again. You can use new ones. There's lots of simples. I even offer a monthly membership where us simple diehard collectors all gather. We share ideas. We share layouts. We share, hey, Kathy, we even share things about ourselves because we've all become so close over the years. But we love new people. So if you're thinking, boy, you guys sound like fun, I'm going to come join you, ask about Inspire. We'll get you right in and get you all hooked up. Okay, so enough about that. What's a simple? Well, let me bring you down here for a minute and show you. This is how a simple comes out. It's 2 layers. I recommend that you cut them, let me just turn that off so it's not in the way, that you cut them out of black and white, and then you can use them with anything. You're not limited to what you're going to do with them. But today we're going to talk about what do you do? Okay, I got this, now what? And I have some background ideas, and I'm going to show them all to you today. This little diagram can help you remember them. And this will be in that free class too for you to download so that you can save it and remember. But basically, if you don't have, and I'm going to back up a little bit. I think what happens is it's so overwhelming when you say, I want to scrapbook a page, and you look at, okay, you've got the photos, you've got the design of it, you've got all those beautiful papers and stickers, and where do you start? So it's my job to simple it for you. That's why they came up, and that's why they're called simples. So the simple's a start. It's great. It's a great place to start. So we're going to work on that first, and then we're going to work on what to put it on. But I want to bring you into Design Space for a minute because Simples are designed, they're SVG files. They're designed to be cut with a Cricut. They can be cut with a Silhouette or a Scan and Cut. Any of your die cut machines that have software that can read SVGs. When they are brought in, and you'll be able to play with this. This one will be in that free classroom. It's not there right now, but it will be there in about an hour after we're done. The biggest trick is to remembering when you downloaded them, where did you put them on your computer? When you bring this in, I've added these in the probably last year, we've started adding these sizes. These tell you the size of your photos. I'm going to show you why the toolkit is super handy and how these numbers make sense. So actually, let me do it this way. Okay, so here is the toolkit. And the toolkit is, if you go to caramello.com, you'll see where you can pick up your own toolkit. They come like this, with this kind of coating on them. But you peel the coating off, and then you get these see-through thingies. See them? But what's cool about them is this photo, for example, is going to need to be a 3x4. See it right here? It tells you it's a 3x4. Okay, well, this is a 4x4. What am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to bring the 3x4 in. I'm going to put it over the top. And the reason it's clear is because I can see what I'm actually going to get rid of and what am I keeping. And I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Kathy, that's not new. It's been there. And I'm just going to snip this extra off. All right. And this is going to make that photo fit perfectly on the space. Just like that. And look how cool that is. I didn't have to measure. I didn't have to, well, let's see, it's 1/4 inch. How big is my margin? I didn't have to do any of that, right? Okay, so if you look in Design Space, you'll see these have sizes, but I really don't want those sizes to cut or do anything. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn them off, option 1, or option 2, I'm going to click on this layer. And this is a new Design Space feature. I'm going to come up here to Operation, and I'm going to scroll down to Guide. They're not going to cut now, but they're still going to be visible. Okay? So when I say Make It, sends it over to the cut screen. You've got the background layer, which I did out of black, and then you've got the top layer, which is the actual mats for your photos. Okay? All right. I want you there. Okay, so let's work on our simple first. Okay, so this is what you saw in Design Space, only it had the sizes on top of it. So I'm going to, whoops, stay here. I'm going to take this. And the reason I say black and white is because I haven't made the decision about my background paper yet. If I know what I want, I can always do a contrasting color for my background mat, or I could decide not to do 2 layers at all. I could just do 1. I don't necessarily have to do 2 layers. I like double matted. This particular one has rounded. They're often square, but I did this a little different. This one has rounded corners on the mat to give us something a little different. So my simple's now ready to build on. I look at my screen and I see this is a 3x4, so this one's going right here, right? And notice I don't have to measure. I just have to eyeball, and I can see my spaces are nice and even. Hey, Beth. This is a 4x4. So this one doesn't need anything. These were printed through Shutterfly in the 4x4. We don't usually do that. I don't know if I clicked on the wrong thing in a rush to get them done or not, but it'll work for me. I usually do 4x6s, but this time I got a whole collection of 4x4s. This one is 3.5 by 3.5. So I need the different, I do. I need the template for the 3.5 by 3.5. It's all part of the toolkit. And I'm going to put this on Grace right here. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. Again, I usually use long bladed scissors. I don't have any in the room today. Don't ask where they went. I don't know. You know that where's my good scissors? Yeah, I need to know where my good scissors are. They're somewhere in this house. And we just simply, it works easier, I think, with long bladed scissors. I know, doesn't she, Marianne? It's crazy. They're learning to ski this month. They're doing an after-school program on Wednesdays, and they're learning to ski. She's in 2nd grade now. I can't stand it. But Lucy, this little Spitfire, has zero fear, and she's going right along with them, even though it wasn't. She's not in 2nd grade. She's not in kindergarten yet because she's a late birthday. So, but she's doing it too. So, crazy ladies. All right, and I have one more for here. Oh, I think I did this differently. I did. I was going to use that one here. This might lose some of our candy. I don't know, because it's only a 3x4. Let's see. Can I get it all? Oh, I can. It'll be fine. So, here's a situation where I'm missing some of the ice cream, but you know what? We get it. We know what it is. You know, it's okay. If I wanted all the ice cream, I could do that. To be honest, my plan was to put this one there. Oh, you know what? I can still do that. The beauty of this adhesive is it's a little forgiving. This is the Mono Air, and it will become permanent, but I get a minute or two. So, let's do this. In this case, I'm going to lose an elbow on either lady, but I'm really okay. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this down, and now I'll get the full effect of the ice cream. So when you're choosing your photos, you're going to decide which ones can you trim a little off of. And I will tell you, when I first did this, and I said to people, you're going to crop your photos, they looked at me in horror. Are you kidding? I'm going to cut my photo? Yep, you are. You're going to go ahead and give it a cut. Don't look at how crooked that is. I'm going to be up tonight worrying about it. Hold on. I was going to pretend like it didn't happen, but it was making me crazy. Some people like to draw right along the edge with a sharp pencil and then put it in your trimmer. You can do that. Other people are super brave and use an X-Acto knife. I would bleed, so I don't. You can put it in your trimmer, but that's kind of tricky when you've got the template. That doesn't really work. So you can put your lines on with a sharp pencil, works good. And then go ahead and trim. So much better, Kara. That was your plan all along. Okay, so my simple is ready now. I am set. So now I can think about the backgrounds. And I have all those backgrounds to show you that we were talking about in this design, all right? The pictures are really tiny, but I just wanted you to have a reference to them. If you look at the blog post today, you'll see bigger versions of these layouts, so you can check that out. But the first one is, we love pattern paper, but sometimes it's a bit much. So you can make it a little bit smaller. I want to show you, here's one idea. This is a piece of pattern paper cut to 11 by 11. Takes a ½ inch off either side. It's kind of a quiet pattern paper, yet it's busy. But when I pop this on, I could use this and be okay. Ooh, sorry for the glare. I could use this and I'd be okay. I wouldn't be unhappy with it. And I'm ready to add more to it. All right. So that's one option. This is super simple. If I just did the solid cardstock, well, that's good. My pictures are now vibrant and pop off, but it's a little dull. It's okay because I've got really great bright photos, but I feel like it needs something. So another idea would be to stamp on your paper. Now this stamp set is, this one isn't here anymore and I shouldn't be using it, but it's here and I liked it. This is the Seas and Greetings. Yeah, it's kind of plain. Now it would leave me room to put a huge embellishment. I could do that. I could do some borders. I could do some stuff, but it makes more work for me and it makes my brain explode. But you could stamp on it, okay? All right, so let's take this option and say, okay, that's one way. That's using the cardstock with a pattern paper on top. What if I had a pattern paper that I like, but it's a little too busy with just the just it. Having the double matted photo helps you. If I just had a photo, it would just blend, I would lose it, although you can't really lose that face, so it might be okay. But adding this to it makes it so much better. Susan says we could journal, and we could, but what if we did this? Now I still get the cool pattern paper, but my photos allow my journaling, allow me to have that, and this works as a frame. So that is option number one. Pattern paper, but you either shrink it down or add a piece of cardstock to the top of it to kind of cover it up. All right? All right, number two is a 50-50 deal. And so in that case, you're going to take your cardstock, you're going to take a piece of pattern paper that you really like, and you're going to pop that on. And so half of the page is going to be pattern paper, the other half is going to be solid. Now it depends on your photos, but I could take this and move it way over here. This kind of blends in though. I could take this and I could do it this way, and that lets my photos take center stage, right? Another option, still the same thing. Now if I did this, I'm going to get two layouts that are going to be identical because I've got the other half of this. So this works great for 2 pages. I could go this way, right down the middle, and then put my photos right down the middle, and I still have room for my journaling down here and room for my title right here, which 90% of the time for me is going to be something from a sticker sheet. What you're looking at, again, I apologize that these are retired, but I wanted to show you and I hadn't touched them yet. This is, and I bet some of you have them. This is Seas and Greetings, and it was a Christmas version and a beach version on either side of the paper. So like this is the beach version, but you flip it over on the other side and it's hats and mittens. Since I'm using summer photos, I went with the beach side. But all of these pages coordinate. The pattern paper comes with the sticker sheet. This is why I love these. So I have Much Fun, which could be my title, and it could go really well. I could use Family, and all my colors coordinate. This is the coordinating cardstock. The sticker sheet and the pattern paper is what we're looking at on my desk. Okay? All right, so that's one option. That is number 2 on the little wheel. Now, let's see, the next one is using a piece of torn paper. And torn always scares us, right? We look at that and think, I don't know how to tear it. Okay, we are going to go with this piece. This is, again, from that pattern paper. This side is snowflakes. Cool. This side is seashells and little hearts. The beauty of Close to My Heart paper is it's white core, which means you're going to get, I'm going to show you what you're going to get. I'm going to hold this with my thumbs, and I'm going to just pull this side toward me. I'm right-handed, so pull this side toward me and just kind of wiggle it along. Don't freak out about it. Okay? Hey, Michelle. Okay, so now I have this great white edge, which is super cool. Adds really great definition. What if I pop this on my layout like so? And then I take my Simple and add it to the top. It definitely makes my eye come up here, so I want to see it. What if I wanted this to be beach and I want this to be sand, and I put it on a different color? And let me get to the other color. Let's say I get, and I'm assuming I'm in someplace with really pretty sand, not black sand or dark sand, but I could do this with it. And I could make this be waves coming in, and I could make this go this way. Depending on my photos, I could tuck them underneath if I like that idea. So maybe I'm going to do this with it, and I'm only going to cover up a little bit and trim off the edge. The torn edge really gives you some dimension and definition, okay? All right, so hold on. I have one more thing to show you, though. The other side, the other piece. Remember this? This could go without the white. It could go like this, which is a different look. I like that too. Or I can flip this over, and now I have a snowy mountain. And I could do my skier. I could do a pocket, sure. I could do my my stamps that would go on the top of this and would coordinate. I have these sweet little snowmen. They could stamp here and here, and then my photos could go over here. Simples are in all different shapes, so the torn really does give you something a little bit different. And it's different every time you do it. That's what's kind of cool. And honestly, it's paper. Don't freak. Now, we're going to talk strips for a minute. Close to My Heart comes with something called zip strips. All the pattern paper has these little strips at the top, and on one side it tells you what the name of the color and what the featured colors are that coordinate with it. But on the other side is this cute little pattern. So you can build yourself a little strip piece of paper that you gather from your zip strips. You can cut pieces from your pattern paper. This is a 1-inch strip that I cut off the pattern paper. And let's take, I lost my cardstock. Where did it go? I didn't really want that color. Oh, it's this one, sorry. I keep moving them out of my way. So let's take this darker one so that you can see it. And I am going to line these babies up. Now, lots of choices with this. I can go right down the middle, right? I can line this up matchy-matchy, easy, even top to bottom. They're 12-inch. I can line them all up so they're perfect, right? I tend to be a matchy-matchy person. I'm probably going to like that idea. You'll notice that I've not brought the Cricut into this at all. Why have I not brought Cricut in? This is so much simpler to just use your trimmer for these little additions that we've been creating. The trimmer just works so much easier than a Cricut does. Remember, a Cricut can only cut 11.49 by 11.49. So the Cricut is not going to let you cut these strips at 12 inches. unless you use, you can trick it, but it's not easy. It would be a waste of paper too. This is much easier. So now I have this, which is kind of unique, and I'm going to add this to it, and it's going to draw my eye right to my photos, which is the whole objective. I could also do it this way, slide it up a little, and use that for my title placement if I wanted. And my photos can come down a little bit lower. So the strips really let you, one, use up extra paper that you might not think about, and it lets you do something unique and different, and you could continue it on to a second page and match them up. So the strips are pretty cool. And then we talked about the stamping on your cardstock, which is the last idea. All right? All right, so I'm going to go back to this one because I really like this idea. I like this paper. I do like this one too, but I'm a little worried that it's a bit much. Let's see, what do we think? It's going to be much when I try and add the stickers to it. So I'm going to go with this. All right, so this is how quickly you can do a layout. Remember, our photos are always the tricky part, and then, oh goodness, it's the journaling, right? We talked about journaling in an earlier post. Journaling is who is in the picture. It's on the blog too, if you're wondering where this is. Who is in the picture? What is in the picture? When? Where? And maybe a why. I always look at it as if I were flipping through my phone and I came on this picture, what would I tell people? What would I say? Oh my gosh, this was Rosie at the soccer field. Her sisters were playing and she was so annoyed. This was this past summer. This must have been in July. Okay, I just got my journaling. I just figured out all this stuff. What was I going to tell you about it? This is Ro before she could say no. That's the highlight of my journaling. So that when I look at this in 4 years, I'm not going to go, was that Grace or Lucy? Who was that? Where were we? Were we in Pownell or were we in New York? Where were we? I'm going to have all of that information. If I want to write a full-on story, okay, great. But maybe I don't want to write a story. Maybe I just want that. So it's the who, what, when, where, why, and maybe a story if you feel the need. But you got to do something with it, because if I just do this, we love those photos, but we're not going to remember why did Grace have teal hair? Well, that was at the end of school, and she had been bugging her mom all school year that she wanted teal hair, and her mom said, on the last day of school, you can have it. So she did. She got to have mermaid hair. Where were these? These were on a trip that we drove to Virginia from Vermont to celebrate Nana's 90th birthday, which was in the winter, but we didn't want to go in the winter. And they stopped at this special make-your-own milkshake place in Pennsylvania. So those are the things I'm going to put on my journaling. So I've got this down. I'm ready with this. If I want a little dimension, remember, I can always use our sweet little 3D foam dots and pop things up. I usually don't pop my photos. I put my photos down the way they are. But because they're on a simple now, literally, it's just putting it down. I don't have to measure. I can eyeball it. I can say, yeah, that looks pretty good. I usually try and line up one edge with the straight edge. And this, because these are crooked, so I'm not going to try and line those. I'm going to line this. I'm leaving room to add something. Since I said I was going to use the stickers, I might check my sticker first. I am going to go with this for my journaling. And I just told us the story, and it was mostly about this one. So I am going to put you right here. I wish I had a thing to, oh, I do have a thing. Okay, so I'm going to go right here with that. And then I'm going to take one of these sweet little flowers, and I'm going to put that right there. And I'm ready to write my journaling. And now I need to do something up here, and family really does fit because it's all sisters. I can grab memories and put that. So you can see where the sticker sheet solves a whole slew of problems. Good times is going to go right here. I've got the, where are these little, I've got these great little arrows that can go down here. And they're already pre-stuck, so I don't have to mess with them. I can just put them on down. Right? This little circle with the extra story, I'm going to put that for the teal hair right here. And I'm going to do last day of school. I thought my pen was here, but I don't think it is. Shoot. Oh, I can use this one. And I'm going to put, now what if I don't like it? What if I'm going to freak out about it? Okay, well then take it off. Don't put it down yet. Bring it over here. And write it over here. And if you hate it, well then pick another one. So this is 2022, last day of school. Grace gets her teal hair. And it fits. So now I'm okay. See? I'll bring you in. I'm okay with it. It was little. So now I can pick it up and I can pop it right here. I think I'm going to put it on this side so that I have room for my title up here. Okay? So anywho, by doing this, it's busy. And maybe I'm going to think, you know what, I don't know. I don't like those. They're too much. They're too busy. I would shoot these guys look busy. I would probably choose those before I put them down. I would hold them there and decide. I am a very simple scrapbooker. I do not like lots of busy pattern. I'm going to like those better on this layout, for example. Where the cardstock is there is what's behind them. I'm going to like that way better. So that's what I'm going to do with that. These things I feel are too busy with this pattern paper. I like this. What if I think, oh boy, that needs something. That's just too much. I've let it sit here for a minute. This is harder to peel off than our adhesive, so make your mind up before you do it. But you can. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it live for all of you. So if I mess it up, but I'm going to cover it up, so it's okay if it makes kind of a little mess on my pattern paper. But what if I think, you know what, this needs something. It's too, I don't like this pattern with that color. It's not sticking out the way it should. I'm going to take what's left over from my simple, right? This is what's left over, and I'm going to stick you right here. I'm going to take my trimmer. Now, if I'd done it before I stuck it down, I'd have better luck, but I can still do it. I will make this work. And then I'm going to put this baby in here, and I'm going to trim this down. No, I'm not measuring. I'm eyeballing. And if I'm wrong, well, then we'll fix it. It's kind of like when you cut your bangs. Let's see. I can see where this line is. I can guess it's because it's a small amount. I can guess it. I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to take my snips because I want this angle, and I'm just going to snip it off and snip it. And now I'm going to take my foam dots and put those back here. And now I'm going to be way happier with this because it was blending in and not tying in. So save those pieces when you pull this off your Cricut mat, and they make great little backings for any of these stickers that you see. And I go with what does it look like in my, does it look good to me? Then it's good. If it doesn't look good to me and I'm twitching because it's not balanced or it doesn't look right, it probably isn't. It probably isn't right. So fix it. Now, because I like the way this looks with the black, I might do my own title. Hi, Jeanette. I might do my own title in Design Space because I could, right? And I could add my offset to it and I could fit it right there. How do I know what size I need? Again, remember, I don't like to measure. Okay, well, let me bring you back into Design Space for a second. Oh, my computer's taking a break. Hold on. Come on, you can do it. Hello. Okay. Does it know that it's here? Yep. So there is that simple, right? All right, so cancel this. And we're going to zoom out a little. And we're going to grab a shape. Now remember I told you that it was 11 inches was that piece I put on top of it. All right, so I'm going to do this at 12 so I can see what it looks like. Basically, I'm going to build the layout here in Design Space. Hi, Bonnie. All right, so I'm going to click on this. Remember, in my case, it's teal, so that's not exactly it, but, you know, use your imagination. And then I need another one on top of it. That is 11. And I need that to be right in the middle. Now I can make sure it really is. I can select those two, and I can come up here to align, and I can say center. It puts it right in the middle. I can click on this, and I can try and pick a color that sort of looks like my background, my pattern paper. All right, pretend. And then I'm going to bring you back, and you're thinking, I don't want that there. Bring it to the front. Go to Arrange, bring to front. Okay, so now that's about where it is, right? Look over here. We're eyeballing again. You could measure if you wanted, and you could put your grid lines on. I'm not a measurer. I'm just not. So I'm going to go with, yeah, that looks about it because I put it kind of in the middle. Yeah, that's going to go. And now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look for in a shade, in a, what do I want? I want an image, and I'm going to do sisters. I don't know what Cricut's going to find for me, but I'm going to look. And I see some sister titles that look pretty cool that I like. Notice there's some fees on them. I can say free, and there's none. I don't have my Access membership right now, but for 99 cents to have somebody else do all the work, it would be worth it to me. I would be okay with that. I could do Soul Sisters. That's kind of cool. I like that. What do we like? Let's go with Soul Sisters and add it to my canvas. Remember, I can play with anything I like. It's not going to charge me for anything. So I like this. This is going to be tricky to do in a cardstock because of the detail on the flowers when I get this small enough to go on my layout. So I might cut this out of vinyl, and it would be okay. So I'm going to shrink this down so it fits. And we've done that in other events, but I just want you to get an idea. So this is going to go here, and it can be the full 12. And I'm going to kind of angle it a little when I actually put it down. So it's going to go like that. And I'm okay with it. It's on a little bit of my picture, which is Grace's face, so I don't really want that. What if I wanted it wider, but not taller? I could do that. I can simply unlock, and then I can edit this way a little bit and not get it super distorted. That works pretty good. Okay, so I'm happy with it. Now, if I still love it and I still want it, then I'm going to have to pay the 99 cents when I go to make it. Why does it tell me it's incompatible? Not because I paid the 99 cents, because I have this square that I use just as a visual, and it's a 12 by 12. If you click here, it'll tell you it's too big. So just turn that little baby off. Now I can say make it. The only thing I really want is that, but I can say make it. It's going to pop it on over, and you'll see down here, and I'm going to change that, and I'm going to cut it from vinyl. Vinyl works great for tiny details. It really does. It's super easy to work with. You have to make sure that your transfer tape, which is what you're using to move your vinyl from the vinyl backing to your paper, make sure your transfer tape is kind of not super sticky. So stick it to your pant leg or stick it to your t-shirt before you use it. The vinyl can be sticky, but you want the transfer tape to come off. We'll do that some night so we can see how that actually works. What else could you do with it? Well, you could write it. Cricut can write it, but I already have my layout kind of done, so the writing wouldn't work very good in this particular case. So just some things to think through. I could also just use the family one and not worry about it. That'd be just as easy. I could just peel these letters up and stick them down, and I am good to go. So it depends on you and what you like. And truthfully, if I was doing a 2-page layout, I might just not do any kind of title on this page. This might be all I did, and I'm good. Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming tonight. Make sure that you enroll in that free class. Just go to karamiller.com and click on Classroom. I think it says Inspire Classroom. And then when you get to the Classroom page, look for the one that says Free Facebook Replays. All right, everybody. Have a great week. I will talk to you soon. Bye.